for Krista for the mini. These are really actually miniature cards here. Oh, and these ones. Okay. For Krista from the mini. What does Krista need to know? So the paid list is open. Let Kim know if you've paid for a reading. What's going on here? Krista, we're starting out with two major influences going on. With the world here, where you graduated something, you moved through, completed. Now it's time to advance. And then we've got the King of Coins here. This is something that's been a long time coming, taken a long time. There's a lot of devotion going on. It doesn't feel so much like a person as it does the level of devotion and loyalty. That's what it feels like is going on. So we're going to drop down and see how this relates, because we are into a paid reading now. We're going into, I want to do the Australian 10 across here and see what these two highlights want to bring out. So let's just see if I can get them all picked up with these nails on. Wow. Wow. Okay. Holy smokes, Krista. The transformation that's going on for you in your world and your overall being is huge right now. Let me show you what we're seeing here. So hopefully you can see clear. We've got the Tower going on. Something that has happened. This you in the position of now here. This is you as the signifier. You've got the Sun over the Tower. So whatever has been falling apart, whatever you built up, this Tower moment feels like it's already happened. The challenge is to move forward towards your own ideal. This is questing for the Grail for yourself. You are on the spiritual journey, are on the spiritual path, are questing for this right now. So whatever this ideal is, you need to continue to be in tune and in touch with your heart in a huge, huge way. Sun's coming up big, big, big on this. In the conscious thoughts, we have the Fool. The new start is here. Now we saw this as one. Usually this goes from here right into here. It indicates to me that the new start won't take forever. The Tower has already fallen. The Sun's already on it. The Fool is right there in the conscious thoughts. You're ready to take the new leap of faith, to do the new things, to go on the new adventure or journey or travel or whatever it is. And it feels scary as hell. It should feel scary as hell. Right now, yeah, this is something that was a long time coming. The other cards that we have coming down here, when we look, we see the Strength card coming in really strong. This is like the energy, the power, and the discernment all rolled up into one that gets you over the hill, gets you over the big hurdle that you have to go through. The truth is on your side. Knowing that you're in integrity with yourself is huge right now. And this following the gentle nudge is huge. Your major arcana throughout this is just insane. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana, plus up here the 7th. And we've only got 12 cards down. So this is a huge period of time for you. Huge transitional time. Recent past, there was something that needed to be balanced, something that needed to be learned. This is karmic lessons, and this is justice. Fairness is coming, even if it feels unfair right now. You're not being penalized or punished or anything. If you're getting a reboot and a restart with the Fool, something has to come to the inevitable end. The role you used to play is outgrown. The thing that you used to be is done. This is caterpillar to butterfly stuff all over the place with this one. All over the place with the Death card here. Near future, 10 of Rods needs to be set down. This is when you're carrying a little bit too much of other people's lessons, a little too much. And you're almost there. You're almost to this point where it's starting to feel like the burden will be eased. You got to put some of that burden down. Right here, the 6 of Pentacles, hopes and fears. This is it's going to be okay. Is the universe going to gift you enough? Are you going to feel like the poor little beggar girl? Or are you going to feel like you can share it and you be the one that has the ability to give? This is just a perspective flip for you, a flip of a lens. I'm getting the image of flipping the lenses, or like, you know, when people have their sunglasses and they flip them down, that kind of thing, or a flip of the lens, like if you're at the eye doctor and they're flipping through the lenses. That's all it is. Yeah, there's going to be abundance. Yeah, it's going to change. But when you feel like the world is at its end and things are over and crazy and chaotic, no, you need to move through that a little bit differently. So you need to get yourself really, really centered. Really, really centered. What else is the highlights going on here? Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. This is huge. Huge, huge, huge. We got the Empress coming in, the one who is abundant, ready, and really receptive, ready to rule over the kingdom, rule over the realm. She knows how to do it. Next up, sorry, I got these. Wheel of Fortune. Fate is turning something. The cycle is changing. This is huge. And then Judgment. To thine own self be true. The call, your higher calling, and answering what is your higher calling. This is huge. You know, sometimes if you work with organized groups or something, or churches, they might call you to serve in a certain way, a certain thing. But when your higher self calls you, you know what you need to do, and that's your higher calling. Some people are called to be singers or artists or teachers or whatever, but this is coming up huge for you. Huge, huge, huge. The majors in this is insanely crazy amount of majors on your reading here. I'm going to flash this down so you can see. And I am recording this, so it should be all in there. But look at this. All of that and that. Now, I want to just look a couple things to keep in mind challenge-wise. Okay. Challenge-wise, you've got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Coins working together. These are aspects of yourself where you've had a loss, but you dream again. You get in touch with things intuitively. This is the Queen of Cups. Queen of Coins is all about knowing what she needs to do, having this season where she's prepared and ready to stretch if she needs to stretch, like, how would you say? If you need to stretch the budget, the resources, whatever, you know how to do that. Totally know how to do that. And then the Chariot. These need to be balanced. The dream and the pragmatist of these queens, the intuitive and the grounded need to be balanced. You're totally in the throes of it, and it's huge. Yeah. And then the Chariot's coming through huge for you right now. It's time to let your will, your ambition, your desire, and your spiritual dreams take the lead in a balanced way. Anything else coming in? Yeah. Don't be so fearful about the next steps that you're taking. You've walked a path like this that's similar before in a previous time. Lucy is in the house and she's showing me bridge after bridge after bridge after bridge. It's almost like looking in an infinity mirror. It's bridge after bridge after bridge after bridge. This is something that you have crossed before, something you've done before. You're able to move forward, get through hurdles, get beyond hurdles, and move through them in a way that serves. It feels like each time that you've crossed this bridge, you're leveling up. Each time you've crossed this bridge in previous experiences, when you've gone through some of these things, even in this lifetime, yes, that this bridge of figuring out where you get grounded, where you get anchored, where your soul sits versus what needs to be done. Sometimes you get to this point where you're frazzled and thrashed, and it's okay to know that you know how to cross the bridge. You know how to figure this stuff out. What else? Anything else? The Ethereal Dream deck is what I've got here. The Ethereal Bloom Tarot. The Nine of Wands and 10 of Wands and the Queen of Swords. This is what you feel when you're battling, and it's beautifully shown. You've got the Nine of Wands here, where you're resilient, which is what I just spoke of. The 10 of Wands, which is in the near future, where you're going to have to set some of it down. Same card. Different imagery, yes, but same card. And then the Queen of Swords. This is the third queen that you've had out there. The only queen that hasn't shown up in your reading is the Queen of Wands, where she's the one that's very territorial. It's like all the other queens are there, plus the Empress is there. The energy that you need to alchemize to move forward. Yeah, you have the ability to not just hold your territory, but to acquire new territory, take new territory. You already know that. That one's already like in the zone, in the lane, understood by your soul. You already understood that. The other three queens are showing up to remind you you can cut what doesn't serve. You can cut what doesn't need to be there. You can be practical and pragmatic and expand whatever you have in a way of amplification. That's the Queen of Coins coming up telling you this. And then you've got the Queen of Cups saying, be intuitive, be intuitive, be intuitive. And the Empress saying, it's going to be okay. Different stages, different ways to move through this. Grace by grace is what I'm getting. That's complete. Holy cow. You feel like you just got the point of knowing that you can figure it out. Yeah. Sometimes we forget that. I mean, we can get pretty rattled by life and the situations that come up, and we think, oh no, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, we've figured out every day before this one, so we can keep figuring things out. And you definitely have this ability. Sometimes when we get the rug pulled out from under us, or something goes a little bit crazy, be it heartache or jobs or, you know, a tornado blowing over your house. When we get these goofy towers that are like, it's like, how am I going to get through? How am I going to get through? And the how isn't going to get in your way anymore. Know that you're moving forward in a way that serves. The reading was gorgeous. Thank you so much. You're welcome, honey. You're welcome. And this is the Hanson Roberts deck. And this is the size that it is. It doesn't come any bigger. And if you get the mini, it really is kind of small. It's really small. So, and this is what it looks like as far as size-wise without the border. But it is an older but really, really good one. And I would suggest getting the full size. Yeah, I would suggest that. It's a beautiful one. I've loved that one for years. That resonates. You completely feel like that. Yeah, yeah. It's going to be okay, babe. It really is. Okay, I think Joni is next. So let's see what's going on with Joni. And let me see if I can see your question. Did you put your question in with your payment, Joni? Or do you want to... I might have to have you retype it. Let's see what's going on with this. Here. I can't see what's going on. Joni, Minnie, will you have a romantic relationship in future? Okay. Okay. All right. Which deck do I want? I'm going to go to the Everyday Witch deck from Deborah Blake for you on this one. Okay. So will you have a romantic relationship in future for Joni, for a Minnie? The answer is yes. And I keep getting a smirk that's coming through. I don't have to look at the cards. We're going to ask another question before I go into the cards. But when it comes that clearly, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. You are feeling like a lesson has been learned, and it's like the universe is smiling and laughing with you at this point. There's a little bit of smirkiness. There's a little bit of trickiness coming through. I wouldn't say necessarily sowing your wild oats is the energy, but there is a little bit more delight in this than what you thought. Now let me take a little bit of a look here and see what's going on. I just can't help but feel like you are starting to understand your mojo a little bit more. Now, what do I mean by that? Here you have this feeling of the Eight of Swords, limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs, feeling stuck. All she has to do is stand up and wriggle, and she's out of that thing. But she has to be willing to stand up if she wants to move forward. The Five of Pentacles, leaving something behind, feeling out in the cold, feeling lack, feeling not enough, and leaving it behind. And then what's right up by this? The King of Cups is coming up. And he's saying, keep calm and carry on. And your mojo is returning. This feels like the shades of the past that are just cobwebs and echoes for you. I want to get the same deck, second deck, see what's going on down below. So we're going to do, again, the Australian 10 layout with the highlights and see what's going on for this mini. I'm telling you, it feels like, you know, when you get that dress or maybe you color your hair and it looks so good and you're like, damn, yeah, that's right. I remember who this bitch is. It's time to strut. Yeah, it's that kind of energy. You've been lingering in this a little bit long, but keep calm and carry on. It feels like the mojo's coming back. What's going on relationship-wise? Let's take a look. What's coming up for you that way in regards to love and relationship? Because the answer is straight yes. It's there if you want it in a different way. In a different way. Love this. Love this. Love this. Oh, my. Okay, look at these cards. Now, I'm going to go straight to the outcome for a minute. Look. No more playing little girl lost. That's what gets in your way. When you doubt your own scale, when you doubt your own size, when you doubt your own power, it gets in your way. No more of that, no more of that. What else does she need to know about this outcome? It's a good thing I have 3 decks of this. Third deck on this. And, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. Now I see, look. These are coming out thematically for you. You're going to maybe have a chance where things get a little bit rattled for you again, where you're going to get this energetic lesson again, but you're going to approach it a little bit differently. You're going to come out of this little girl lost energy and go into this King of Cups hugely. This is coming up as the outcome, possibly as a reminder. This is coming up in the near future. Now, let's see what else is going on with this. Wow. Holy smokes. I love when the cards do that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yes. Okay. All right. What we're seeing here, let's go down and go through this so you can see a little bit more of what's going on. So we've got the Four of Wands, this ideal synchronicity for you, the 1111 card coming up here, challenged by the Queen of Pentacles, who has the lesson of self-value, self-worth. What does she have? How to amplify what she's got, how to turn the tumbleweed into the Christmas tree. She knows how to do it. She knows exactly what she's got. She knows exactly her power, and she's not afraid to use it. She's, in my book, the closest to the Empress, this one. That's the challenge for you, to step into your own beauty, to step into your own power, and to really know it. And the time has come to do it. Now, what we're seeing going on here, conscious and subconscious. Conscious, here we've got this Eight of Wands, and it's like, what are we going to do? This Eight of Wands, things are lining up, and this Eight of Swords energy is like the freaking out as this change is occurring. It's not being afraid of the storm, it's learning to summon it. And this is where I'm talking mojo. When you learn to summon your mojo, when you have the hair color or the fabulous dress and you strut and you know you're looking good that day. You get to this point where you're slinging the vibe and you could be wearing hot rollers into the grocery store, sweats, and just out of a workout. But you're slinging the vibe of confidence, of self-confidence, and knowing things. The mojo is shifting for you, and that's huge. You're learning that you have the power to summon the storm. And that is what gets in alignment in the next 8 weeks. The 8 weeks is coming in as a timestamp, pretty hardcore on this. This is something that is changing within the next 2 months for you. And it's huge, huge, huge. Now, subconscious. How do you leave your mark? This is subconsciously part of the lesson for you. You're summoning the storm. You're lining things up. And how do you leave your mark? How do you want to be perceived and received? This is something that you have in your mindset shifting right now. Recent past. This time where you've taken time out for yourself. Now, this one's interesting because it's got the 3 swords here to the window, and it's like those need to be knocked down. And then the 4th sword, this one towards the very end, you could have any of those. The 3 swords would just be betrayal, heartache, loss, all those painful truths. You have them all at your side, all right there. But 3 of them you don't need. You're only going to have 1 in your hand at a time to move forward. This is where you need to have a little bit more time where you're taking care of yourself. This is recent past. You're doing great, honey. Really, really great. Near future is that King of Cups that we've seen twice now coming up. Twice. So whatever it is that made you feel like a little bit less than, not enough, poverty, impoverished, and lack, and out in the cold. That lesson is there for a reason. You're not off course. You're not off track. You are where you need to be. Coming up in the position of you now. That's you with the Chariot, moving forward, learning how to balance and then choose the direction. It's so clear on this card too. See the signage up top here and up top here? This is you choosing which way you want to go and having the ability to do it. You decide who travels with you. Like this one is the Chariot. She's got somebody in the sidecar traveling with her, but she's in charge of steering. She's in charge of the direction. You get to make these decisions, and it's big for you. It's different than you used to do. Yes, it's coming in, but it's going to look different. The Emperor's here and the environment around you. I'm telling you, there's a lot of Empress energy in here already. This is coming in strong, strong, strong. The Empress card isn't on deck, but it's on deck. It's there. This energy is something you can tap into easily if you want to. It doesn't have to be chaotic and confusing at all. 6 of Wands comes in, hopes and fears. Can I do this? Will I be seen? Will I be recognized? Recognize yourself over and over, and not just pat on the back, award yourself, but look your own eyes in the mirror and see the beauty that is there. See the beauty reflected, and this is what comes through and what helps you move forward. When you understand and appreciate yourself and the packaging that comes in all together, and that's hard in modern times because we're told, oh, well, just think about how many people either color their hair or put in fillers or put in, boobs or whatever. We're never told, or we're seldom told, you are enough just as you are. It's always tweak something, add something, do something. This is so harmful. It's time for you to learn that you are enough as you are. All you have to do is stand up beyond the limiting beliefs and move forward. So if you want to get dressed to the 9, color your hair, boobs up, whatever, do it. But it has to be internal, seeing your own soul, and this is huge going forward. Then we have this coming up, and I love this for you. I love this. This is the card of Temperance. This is where you're learning to transmute something, balance something. This has to do with balance also and moving forward. This has to do with balance and transmuting. And then here, the Ace of Cups, the card of new love coming forward, how you create the offering. What you're offering and what you bring to the table now is different than what it will be in 4 weeks, and it's different hugely than what it will be in 8 weeks. And it feels like this 8 weeks energy is coming in strong, strong, strong. It also feels like this letting go and this shedding of who you thought yourself to be before is huge for you. I can't even say it any huger. This is you ready to take things by storm and understanding your boundaries, enabling you to move forward. Is there anything else she needs to know on this? Anything else? I'm not showing and I'm not seeing partner immediately present, right? Like, no, this is more about you prepping yourself to call the storm in instead of being caught up in a swirl. This is about you owning you, and that's what draws it to you. Yeah, Knight of Swords comes in, Judgment comes in, Seven of Cups, spoiled for choices comes in. This is what we got. We got the Knight of Swords, knowing the truth and going forward. Don't be reckless with yourself, with your time, with who you invite in and give audience. Be in high integrity with self. This is to thine own self be true and answering the call of the higher self. This is what happens for you, and this is what's the game changer for you. And then here, spoiled for choices. Then it's like a shopping tour. Then it's like window shopping. Then it's all the choices in the world. It's when this shifts internally for you, everything shifts externally. And this is what you're in. You're in this final area, this final stage before all the swords fall down, before you really learn to stand in your power, stand in integrity, know your mojo, strut, whether you're in sweatpants or the best looking dress that you ever wore in your life. You carry that mojo with you. And when you're slinging the vibe from that kind of level, everybody's an option. The only person that wouldn't be an option would be somebody that's already deeply, truly in love. Other than that, everyone else, the world is your oyster. That's what I've got. Yeah, that's very complete. Anything else? Yeah, okay. All right. One more. I want to look at this 8 weeks time zone again. Time frame, not time zone. What do we need to know about the 8 weeks? The Hierophant comes in giving access. This is turned on its head. So there's something about this lesson that is turned upside down. I told you you'd face it again. Each of those cards, those initial 3 cards, we've seen repeats in now. Each of these 3. This is really the era that you are going through. You're learning to let go of being poor little match girl energy, poor little, I don't have enough. You're not the poor little beggar girl. You are the cookie, so to speak. You are the one that they always want. You just have to remember that you are the cookie, right? Then here, this is letting go and standing up and doing something that is you are the cookie. Then this one. This is the VIP access. This is the one that I call the bouncer of the club, because this one gives the keys, lets people have the access to something higher, something more traditional and greater wisdom. That's what's going on for you. It is coming. It's not showing an immediate pairing, just so you know. It's showing more of an 8-week time frame. So if I'm in your shoes, I spoil myself rotten during these 8 weeks. Really do everything you can to just nurture and shower yourself with every confidence booster, everything that makes you feel good inside and out. Do all of those things, because that's what's shifting, because you're worth it. 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 All right, that's complete. So let me get a little bit of water, and then we'll see who's next on the list, and we'll go from there. Just 1 second. All right. Brenda, I'm so glad you're here. We had an error with my iPad, and it didn't record last week's when Phil was home. So we don't have that one. I am recording today, and I'm using my other iPad. So the one that was on Saturday didn't record, honey. I'm so sorry. I try and record it and get it going, but Phil was on the other side of the camera and doing things. And one of my iPads, I think, is trying to die or is just temperamental and doesn't have as much storage as the other one. So it didn't get recorded. So just FYI, that's what we've got. So I'm so sorry. You don't remember any of it. You guys, never worry if you don't remember your readings. If you're going to go through this a little bit like Brenda is doing, what is already there, what is significant to remember, will come to you at that time. I remember parts of my very first reading that my aunt did for me, but I don't remember every card. But at certain times, different cards will flash through my mind, different situations will be there. So don't sweat it. Don't sweat it so much. Whatever you were meant to know, you will know, and the subconscious will know what is it needs to know already. So that's what's coming up. That's what's going on. That once I've done the read, I don't generally remember what's going on in each of the reads or what's going on, and I do record them and put them over on the tube, but that one didn't get recorded. So just don't sweat it. It will come through anyway, okay? All right. Like you will, if you're meant to walk a certain path, you're going to hit the detour that needs you to go around to a certain way, to a certain different kind of zone, and it'll be fine. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what we've got. Okay. Yeah, try not to worry too much. The list is clear. Okay, then Brenda, since you're here and since the list is clear, we're going to just dive in and see if we can get a little bit from the highlights reel of what you might want to remember, and then we'll check out what's going on. But just understand that even if a lot of it you don't get right away, your soul and your higher self is going to get you to where you need to be, regardless of me or any other reader, regardless of whether you remember all the cards or you don't. We're typically on our path a lot more than we realize. We're going to snoop for Brenda in the Witch's Tarot just for a minute. Okay, I'm going to do the center of the Celtic cross. We're just going to take a quick look. Moving on and moving out of a certain situation. Now you got the card of spring happening, 8 weeks, momentum building. You got also the card of give and take. This is when the universe wants to give you something. It's coming in a certain time period and it's coming quickly. Subconsciously is clarity that you need to see and know and understand the truth, be more clear in your communication, what you're bringing forward. You're evaluating things. You're not going to stick around for just the crumbs for whatever reason. You're not going to stick around for the breadcrumbs. You're moving on. Whatever this ending is, the painful ending is there. It's fairly near at hand, and you're moving on. You will have dealt with the death of an ego. When we have an ego death of a sort, when we have this kind of card, sometimes it's the death of a shadow lesson, and we move on from this. But it's part of an ego death, part of our identity that we think we are, differentiate ourselves to be a certain this, a certain that. Sometimes that comes up in these kinds of lessons. Recent past, the desire to move on with the Knight of Wands, to charge forward, charge forward, charge forward. This is what's coming up. What else is one beyond that? I want to look specifically at November. Show me a little bit of November. Okay, all right. This is like you really do have to move on. These are not the funnest cards to give you. November. This is where you're going to understand what was lost, and you're going to feel a little out in the cold. This is part of what you're doing to move on. Now, we've seen that. We saw that in the previous read. We saw a little bit of that. When you move on from thinking you're the poor little match girl, you don't have to get the breadcrumbs. You've come from a place of abundance. It's a very different thing. What comes up? Queen of Coins comes up. This is where you're going towards. This is coming in November. It's going to be these challenges first. And this is the card of 8 weeks. It doesn't feel distinctly 8 to me. It feels like within November time frame, but it feels like probably third week of November is when things are going to really start shifting in this regard. That's what I've got on these cards for you. So I'm recording this. I have it down in here, and today's will go up, and I'll post it up after the show, but that's what I got for you, sweetie. So that's what's going on. Some of this might be exactly the same cards. Some of the exact same cards may have come up in here. I just don't remember. When it was Saturday, I don't remember. Sometimes I do so many reads that once I'm done, I'm moving through and moving on. You'll know the ones that feel familiar. Just trust your higher self, and always trust your higher self, and keep moving forward. All right? Okay. You're welcome, honey. You are so welcome, Brenda. No problem. Let me get a little bit of water, show you guys what we're doing today, and we will keep trucking along. By the way, Phil is not with me today. He is actually out there trucking along, driving right now. So yeah, I think sometimes we get discouraged because we explore something, we check it out. We think, why did we waste our time checking this out? We need to know. Sometimes we need to have an understanding of what we can compare as an option, what we can see. And is this a good fit for me? I think it's a good fit for me. I think it is. You explore it a little bit and you're like, yeah, that's not what I thought it was. It doesn't mean you failed. It means you checked it out. And now you know of your own knowing here, not just, and a knowing here is stronger than just here. So this is what we need to do. When we learn something, sometimes we have to learn it in our heart by our experience. And it feels like this is, for some of us, where this is changing. All right, this is what we got, guys. Like, follow, share. You guys know the drill. This is how you can get on for a blind reading or the year ahead, the mini and the full. That's these ones. The bones, the crystal ball, and the past lives are here. Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. You guys know the drill. The list is open. Huh. And that's that one. Okay. Okay. Oh, and I wanted to bring in some of my guides. Like Yana has been very, very present lately, but we haven't heard from Gogs in a while. We haven't heard from Mo in a while. So I thought we'd get a few messages from them today and see what's going on. Lucy and Nell, we've heard from a little bit here and there, a little bit more. But the guides Gogs and Mo in particular, we haven't heard from as much. So I think we're going to get the Druid deck and see what Gogs has to say for us. So give me just a second. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if we can figure out what Gogs would have us say. Okay. All right. I'm being reminded of when Gogs first became present in my world. And this was a few years back, more than a few years back now. It's been a while. It's like, okay, all right. I was talking with my friend Melanie. This was before she had crossed over. And she was talking about crystal skulls and how she enjoyed crystal skulls and dragons and blah, blah, blah. And it all just seemed like really way out there, like hippie, trippy, crazy way out there. Yeah, Lola, the list is open. So anyway, I was talking with her about it. And I thought, well, you know, when the time is right, I'll get one of those crystal skulls, blah, blah, blah. So I did get one. And it's not that I think necessarily the spirit is inhabited in the crystal skull or the piece of stone or whatever. But I think it helps act as an access or like a showing of a willingness to be there, a willingness for a new guide to come in when you do something like that. When you get a different tarot deck, it's learning to look at life through a different lens. It's a tool, right? So that's when Gogs came in and it's like, okay, what do we need to know? I had no idea he would be this grumpy old codger. I just had no idea how he'd come through. And he always reminds me of the old druids. And he's often near his house, which is very kind of farmhouse looking, kind of farm shack house looking. We've since had times where he's gone inside and talked with his wife about different things. There's been times where he talks with Nell about different things. But let's see, what do you got for us? All right. What's the message from Gogs today? Let's take a look at the cards. I'm getting quit your talking, start doing. So this is a lot what's coming in with him. He's often showing me start doing. He'll be like chopping wood or doing some kind of very rustic thing. Quit your talking, start doing. There's something about the heartache that we need to get over, start doing. There's a walk that needs to be taken. There's time when we need to walk in the quiet. What is this about? I see him walking around his house, It's like he's doing a perimeter check on his house. He's checking the wood in the pile. He's checking the preparations. He's checking things like are in the barn. He's checking things around. He's checking everything is how it should be. It's almost like he's doing an assessment for winter prep or the season change prep. There are things we need to check. Things that really make us understand that we have things squared away and we are prepared. And this is what's going on with this. There is a certain level of preparation. When we take this walk on our own, we get prepared. He's thinking generationally. He's thinking how he leaves his mark. He's thinking these things coming through. This is the card coming through. He wants emphasis on this. And emphasis on the old man in the card and all the tiring work that needs to be done. A little bit at a time, Sometimes that's why we need the time alone to clear our own heads. It is preparation of how you leave your mark, but there needs to be a time where you're not just overwhelmed and you let the kids do what they need to do. Let others learn what they need to learn, and you take your sacred walk, your time alone, your time out to walk in the way that serves best for you. That's what's going on here. Then prepare to make the offering. This all has to happen first. This is something coming up further down. This is he's showing me as like way in the distance. This is further down in the distance. I don't know how to do it. Like, it should be more like this because it feels like in the distant future. There's something, there's some of us that are feeling exhausted and tired and thrashed. We've done this perimeter walk. It's something we'll need to continue to do. Maybe one check off a day, one check thing, one check thing, one check thing. Yeah. Okay. He's showing me again the wood pile by the house. The wood pile by the house. You don't get all the wood chopped in one day. You chop it, you take it, you stack it, you get some more chopped down, break it up to the, like you chop down, then chop it into the smaller wood that you would put in the fireplace, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. He's also referencing when I was a kid, we had this wood burning stove in my basement, and he's okay. I'm getting a scene from when I was younger, when my sisters and I, we didn't have any boys until the very end. The baby of our family was a boy. But my dad would go to Island Park, and we'd go to the cabin up in Island Park. He would get the wood, and then we would have to help load the wood down the chute, and it would be the firewood for the winter. He's showing me that is same. And I mean, we were little kids. I mean, young kids. So we would pass the log. Whether the spiders were on there or not, you throw the log, daddy long legs, whatever. You know, you're like freaked out a little bit because of that. But nevertheless, it got done little by little by little. Gogs is saying much the same. If it's just you chopping the wood each day, you do the daily assignment for the day, do the task for the day, it stacks up over time. It's ready over time. You don't have to be exhausted every day. You don't have to be frazzled every day. Over time, it puts you in the place where something new can come through. Yes? Yes. Okay, what else is going on? He's talking about feeding the creatures in the barn. I haven't been really in his barn that I can recall. Feeding the creatures in the barn. And he's got the black horse in the barn. It's not gray, it's black. His horse is black. It's black in this, and it's more than just that is what is visually coming through. It's also the dark horse. Feed the dark horse. Some people would call it the dark horse in the race, or the underdog. Feed the underdog. Yeah, the dark horse. This is something that's coming in, and what's coming in is this needing to understand how to feed the underdog, how to get over the pain, the sorrow from the past, move forward anyway, trust the ability to move forward in the pacing that is necessary. Doesn't have to be all done at once. Let the dog be with you. Now here, this fool has the dog with him. Let spirit be with you. Let what's loyal be with you. Feed what is the underdog self. Build the confidence in the way that it needs built. That's how you're building things into your future. And yeah, you're going to feel it like this right now, and there's no getting around it right now. This is doing all the chores, doing all the chores. The only thing you would say about doing the chores, doing what needs to be done, is do it smarter. Is that right? Yeah. A little at a time. He doesn't really care for how this guy is proceeding. He thinks this is not well tied, not well put together, not efficient. But this is what's coming through. Okay, anything else? What do we need to know for the rest of October, Gogs? Study and prepare for battle. The Nine of Pentacles is study in your garden, prepare for battle. Prepare for what you want to take on. Get real accountable with what it is. Now this is protect your priority. Know what it is. This shows very much like taking the inventory of all the grain you have, all the wood you have, knowing what's going on, feeding the people in the barn, the creatures in the barn. This is being very much aware of this. This Nine of Pentacles comes in and has a little bit of the shades of Temperance coming on it. And then the Queen of Wands coming in here. This is preparing for battle, She's very much territorial. It's defining the territory. Gogs is saying, don't forget about her fire. Don't forget to have that fuel going with you too. Don't forget to have that fuel with you too. This is why he's talking so much about stacking the firewood. He's talking about tending to our own inner fire. He's talking about feeding the underdog, feeding the dark horse, doing the things that boost our confidence. It's a very masculine way of saying take care of self and take care of business. yeah, take care of yourself and take care of your business. Do what needs to be done. And that will get you to this point. That's what's going on. That'll get you to the point where you're feeling the rewards coming in. But yeah, there's a lot that needs to be tended to, taken care of. And we start with self. We start with our own hearth, with our own home. This is where we start, and then we move forward from there. That's complete. Okay, yeah. He just gave me the nod, and he's off doing his thing. All right, let me get a little bit of water, and we'll see what's next. Oh, thanks, Krista. Thanks. You've been on a long TikTok leave, Catalina. Well, good to have you here today. I'm so glad. So glad. Yeah, I'm usually here Mondays at 11 and Wednesdays at 11. And then sometimes Phil is joining me on Thursday evening. So that's what we're doing these days lately. That responded well. Thank you, Gogs and Angie. Yeah. You're welcome. Resonated. I caught it. I understood. All right. You love the barn with the dark horse. Yeah. Gogs does things in a little bit of a different way. He's really kind of a gruff one, but he does it in a very, very kind of different way. I thought it might be fun to go into this Tarot of the Woodland Wardens. And let's just pull a few cards from there and see what's going on and see what the messages are. It's a new deck, and it's a good, easy way to familiarize. So, Lola, if you're up for it, I want to pull 5 cards for you and share this deck and see what's going on with this regarding that. If that's okay with you, honey, that's the way I want to do it. So I think that that's what I would kind of prefer. Oh, you know what? You've paid for the blind. We're going to start here. Where else are we going to go? We're going to go Oracle next. We're going to start here. Okay? Okay. We might end up in the Hush Tarot too. Okay, one thing at a time, Ange. Okay, one thing at a time. It's gonna be, your blind is gonna feel almost like two. Just quit talking. Start doing. This deck is so funny. The Hermit in this deck is a skunk, and I just love it. I think it's great. Now, I went and asked about this deck because I knew it was coming out. And I asked to shop without knowing when it was coming out, and this was several months ago. And they're like, oh, they don't have that. You're thinking of the Oracle deck. Well, the Oracle deck is arriving soon for me that I have, but this is actually a tarot version of it. Our tarot version of the Woodland Wardens. What's with this? 8 wands today. Wow. Okay, let me show you what we got here. Coming down. We have the 2 of Cups, this perfect partnering and pairing coming together and understanding an equal offering. Bringing something new to the table here. The Queen of Pentacles also coming out a lot today. Queen of Pentacles coming up as a really, really good squirrel. This is a great rendition for the Queen of Pentacles because she is so prepared. She knows what's in her pantry, just like the squirrel knows how many nuts it has to gather before fall. This is a beautiful rendition of this card. Knows its value, knows its worth, knows what it got to do, know it needs to go get a nut, put it in the tree, another nut, put it in the tree. Knows its worth, knows exactly when their store is full, when their pantry and their little tree full of nuts is all chock full of nuts. They know. This one knows. The 8 of Wands and the rooster on this. Love this. It is like getting the call that sometimes is a little disruptive, but then everything happens. When the rooster wakes us up, and I live where sometimes there are roosters not too far from here. So there are some of my neighbors that are getting roosters, waking them up for sure. And it's like, time to go, time to get going. Everything started for the day. The rest period has happened, the work period or the full-on day. Make hay while the sun shines, that kind of energy coming through. This is the 8 of Wands, and this is saying the work that's prepared to be done, the things that you've been preparing for. The perfect preparation has happened and is going on. Now moving forward. High Priestess, owl wisdom. Really, really, really beautiful wisdom coming in. And this is, okay. This is important for you to know. The High Priestess comes in for the High Priestess year. You've heard me talk about this before. The lessons and things that come forward with this are huge, and I'm getting to go to the White Winnie deck. Hang on. White Winnie deck, White Owl deck, right? Okay, let's see what's going on here. You've got the 10 of Cups coming in after that, but what is the High Priestess lessons that are going to be coming forward for you this year? Then we'll go to the blind after this, or we'll go to the oracles after this, but this is a tarot, the White Winnie Tarot. Give me just a second. The victory is the new gift. The victory that's coming forward, it's the new gift, the new way of doing, and the new reward coming through. The old thing that has been outgrown and conquered, the devil and strength, the ability to do better, the ability, say that one of your devils is to get out of your comfort zone. Say that one of your devils is to do something differently or create a new behavior pattern. This is what I'm getting for you specifically. It's not so much about vices, it's about a behavior pattern that you've been trying to change or think that you're not going to change. Well, it's here. You are going to have victory in creating the new behavior pattern. The strength card is coming through huge, huge, huge. Ace of Cups is coming through with a big offering here, the big love offering, and the Sword of Truth is kicking in on this. It's kicking into gear. You are starting to feel a little bit more momentum as you do this. It's like if I wanted to lay, and I don't right now, but if I wanted to lay down a habit of, hey, I'm going to work out X amount every single day, it would be like, this is the time. This is a good window opening up. This is the season. It feels like this is what's coming forward for you. It's understood, you know it, and you're moving forward with it in a huge way. The momentum is there. You're not at odds with yourself anymore. You're not at odds with yourself. You're bringing forward what needs to be responded to in a way that's equal in the offering, in a way that makes sense. You're up to the task. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Magician. Love it, love it, love it. And the end card on here, this end card is the Ten of Pentacles. Happy family atmosphere and environment, really, really anchoring things down. So many goosebumps. Good. Independent woman here and the Magician here. Now let's see what's going. I want to go into an oracle deck for you as well. I know this is a blind, but I know this is what I'm feeling called to do, so this is what we're doing. Really. Now this is a rose deck, and I forget the name of it, other than the Rose Oracle. It's not Rebecca Campbell, but it reminds me of that because of the coloring on the back. But it's just the Rose Oracle. And it's not the grandmother's, but it feels that energy. High Priestess, spiritual lesson, spiritual teaching, spiritual wisdom coming forward from the ancestors, moving forward and through you as the instrument, as the vessel that brings and speaks and writes, maintains, and declares the truth. This is what's coming forward. You are living in your truth in a way that is huge right now. Huge, huge, huge. What else is coming up? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Hang on for a second. This is big stuff coming in for you. Okay. These first two are the easy ones. The next three are a little bit more challenging, but they're big. You've got the dive deep. Don't resist. Just fall. Allowing yourself. Just allowing to move with the momentum. That's what's being told here. This is saying connect with your inner child, creative center, and relish in the act of creation. This stuff you kind of already understand. This is stuff you've already got. This isn't craziness for you. This is just like, okay, I got this. I got this. This is what takes my breath away. This says the dark feminine. Now, we've talked a lot about the divine feminine rising and the divine feminine coming in and different things like this. But there's also the dark feminine. The dark feminine understands what it is to not just have a righteous anger, but to rage like a banshee. The dark feminine understands her shadow side. The dark feminine understands what point is just too damn far. She knows when she's sold out, and she knows what she will never sell again. All right? The dark feminine understands how to use her days when she was saboteur, her days when things felt like, not in harmony with herself, and the lessons that she had to do. She knows what she had to do to survive and move through it. And the dark feminine is power, because the strength of survival is with her. It says, you are the chaos of creation. You are the alchemist. And that's what she understands. It's like if Temperance had a shadow side, the dark feminine in this card would be bringing it. It's not that you're going to make everything all magically happen together without having some things burn. And the power of whatever it is that has burnt is like the phoenix burning its nest to the ground for the future. This is huge. Then here we have the self-acceptance, and it says, you are beautiful and divine as you are. You are not broken. And this is the lesson. This is the lesson. It is huge. There are times when we see how far we've come and we don't like our lessons of the past, we've outgrown them. And then there is time when the dark feminine steps in and says, this is what you went through and you needed to go through so you would know it to the bone to understand. Whether this is about survivorship, whether this is about knowing your own beauty, whether this is about knowing what your role was and the role you're stepping into and knowing them to be different. It's knowing yourself to the core of yourself. This is huge. Now, when you see this, I love this rendition here. It's kintsugi. It's the art where if they break the pottery, then they fill the veins with gold. And our scars are like that. I have like this scar here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's about this long. It's from an argument with my sister when I woke her up from a cat fight, right? I have stretch marks from when I had kids. All of these scars, all of these stretch marks, all of these things that are our lived experience, whether it's a scar here or a scar here or a scar here. I know where I was when I was doing these things. They mark moments in time, mark moments in history. And when we have the scar repair our skin, it is stronger than the skin that was there before. The veins of gold that run through here add value to this battle that was fought with the dark feminine, this battle that was fought birthing the dark feminine. It's really, really honoring the whole and integrated self, not just the light and fluffy aspects of self. Not just, yeah, that's great. Yeah. No, it's if somebody is needing to be called out and you are one that is strong enough to call them out, you will. And if they don't like it, that's just too bad. And that's not too bad for you. Your truth is your truth. Theirs is theirs. But it's standing in your power and not backing down from it. Violet Flame. This is the next one. It says, awaken what has been dormant for too long. And this is what we're talking about here. There is huge power coming in. There is a transmuting of power. Now, if you go to Violet Flame, and we're going to break it down this way today. When you have red and blue and you're getting the purple energy, not politically, no. Red, root chakra, base energy, fear of survival. Blue, throat chakra, right? Third eye chakra here. Knowing. These things need to be fused together, knowing that you will make it through. So you do what you need to do, saboteur or not, to survive, to get through, to let go of the old role and step into the new one, to move forward. That's the power of Violet Flame. That's what transmutes. That's what makes you honor the scars and forges them into this gold that cannot be taken from you by anyone else ever. You know what you've been through. You know the price you paid to become the woman you are in this now moment. That is something to be honored. That is something to really, really revere and respect, and let the old patterning go. Because this new version of you, the you that is in this now, is a powerful, badass bitch and bad to the bone. And you know it. You have earned the right to stand in your truth. So do it. That's complete. Holy cow, that was a big one. That was a big one. And this is why you shouldn't underestimate the cute decks either. Because the cute decks, even if they are like cute, they come through and sometimes kick some teeth. So that's what I got. Holy smokes. That's amazing. All right. Next, Carol Ann for a mini. Okay. 1 second and we will see what's going on. You're welcome, Lola. You are so welcome. All right. So let me put these cards here. Let me get a new tray. Let me put this down 1 second. Put this one. Okay. So, Carol Ann for a mini. And I thought I saw something in the chat. That's Catalina. Carol Ann. Okay. Catalina. Wow, that was your reading too. You're going through changes and full of fear. Yeah, let it go. If you've walked through the fires of hell, you've probably earned the pass to keep on walking. And that squirrel deck, yeah, let me show you real quick. That's this one, and it is so stinking cute. As far as animal decks go, it's a super cute one. So that's just a new release that's recently out and new to my collection, but it's fabulous. Yeah, Woodland. That's right. Okay, so we're going to Carol Ann's, and can you put your question, Carol Ann? Minnie, I got that part, but I'm not seeing the question here. So, and if you just want a general, I can do that, but just let me know, and then I'll go to whichever deck is feeling like it's the right deck for the reading. which is fun to be able to choose from lots of decks. That's for sure. That's for sure. Okay, see if it's... My iPad is just slow. It's slow on the pickup right now, but that's okay. Doubting yourself, but you're thinking of rescheduling an appointment to a later date. Okay. You're doubting yourself and thinking of rescheduling an appointment to a later date. That, Carol Ann, just to be clear, that is your question, right? You want the reading today now from me about an appointment that you're thinking of rescheduling. Is that correct? Let me know. I'll get some water. If that's correct, that's how we'll do. And that's how we'll proceed. Okay. I'm trying to read the chat. Okay. All right. And we are still recording. So, Carol Ann, if you are still here and that is your question about this, then let me know and just tell me and we'll just go for it. If you think that you are having a time crunch and we need to do the read at a different time, I'm happy to do that. But I just need some clarity on there. Okay. One new message. Let's see if it's come. Okay. 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 I'm trying to see, and I'm not seeing where your payment is, so I don't know if you're trying to do this on another day. So that's what's going on. My iPad is sometimes a little bit behind the thing, behind the notifications, which is just fine. But I'm not seeing Carol Ann's response. So if you can let me know, then I can continue. If that's not working out and she needs to do it on another day, that's just fine too, guys. It's not... Paid by Venmo says it went through. Okay, that's fine. It's just my iPad being goofy because I just went and looked at Venmo and I think it's showing Joni's is the last one, which is just fine. I know that this iPad is... Sometimes I want to just break it, but that's okay. So if the question for you, Carol Ann, is about an appointment that you want to keep, then we're going to get into that in a minute and look at whether you should keep that appointment or not, right? So we're going to do that. You're doubting yourself, but you're thinking of rescheduling an appointment to a later date. Let's take a look at what's going on for Carol Ann. We're going in the Robinwood for you, honey. That's where we're going. The Robinwood Tarot. It's an oldie but a goodie. Okay. For Carol Ann's reading, and it's 58 minutes in, so FYI, folks, for Carol Ann's reading. I'm getting a fan, two angles of a fan, so let's see what's going on. Okay. I'll let you know, honey. I trust that it's there. No big deal. No big deal. This is what we've got going on. We're getting in the read now, sweetie. Okay. It feels like these two sides of the fan, and we've got this side and then a gap and then this side. Feels like there needs to be bridging done. Now, I don't have a third of the Robinwood, so let me get a third deck to bridge it with. 1 second. It's over here. This is one of my good work. These are workhorse decks, or old friends decks. And this is Cyril Marchetti. That's also a great creator of decks. I don't get to go into this one yet. We'll see how it bridges in a minute. So we're comparing aspects of things right here. The King of Cups, trying to keep calm, carry on, trying to stay calm in the storm or calm in the turbulent waters. This is the big kahuna that rides the surf, that understands how to stay calm and remain calm. A death and an inevitable ending is approaching, and you know it. If you haven't felt shades of this already, you are soon to feel it. It feels like you already know something is over and ending, and you're moving towards something differently. Knight of Wands, wanting to charge ahead. Something about an upside down relationship comes through here. Now this is usually like the perfect relationship, but this one feels like inverted. It feels upside down. What you thought was perfect, what you thought was working out, isn't working how you thought. So you need to charge ahead in a different kind of a way. That's an unusual thing for here. Now let's see right here, so you can see. Right here, we've got this all through here. Then we have the toasting, lifting the glass, raising the glass to self, coming up, the world, moving through to a new section of life, a new portal of life, a completion has happened, moving on to a new cycle. That's the world. And then the Fool, right on its heels, right on its heels. When this happens, it's significant. You have these opposing, the end, the beginning, the inevitable end here, the death and rebirth. Whatever this is, whatever needs ended, it does need some finality. It needs to end. Whether it's relationship, job, whatever, it feels like upside down relationship. Now, this is sometimes card of business, but you'll know how this applies, and it feels much more deeply personal than that. Without going all over the place, nosy, and putting all your business. It feels like what is personal needs ended, and you know where this upside downness is. This is what's going on. What is personal needs ended. Now, you asked about the appointment. Keep the appointment. Create the ending that you need in order that you can step through and move forward. That's what I'm getting is on this side. What is battling against that? Here we've got reflections of something that has been hard work, time has spent, something that comes second nature, hard work. Reflecting on something from the past, huge. This is the reflecting on something huge from the past, the truth that you know, and this feels a little bit more pie in the sky than usual. This is having the hearth and home set up in a way that's just bliss. It's usually happy ever after +1, and it feels like there's a fly in the ointment somehow. Again, these are generally very, very powerfully positive cards, but something feels a little off kilter, dear. And I don't know what that's about. You know better than I. Something feels a little off kilter. That's the best way I can put it. The synchronicity of the Tower and of the Wheel of Fortune. Holy smokes. Now let's take a moment with these, okay? So Wheel of Fortune, Tower, Four of Wands is synchronicity of spring. All right. Coming up from the cards for a minute. When we see the Tower, a lot of people don't like that card. I love it. I love that card because when the Tower happens, it's the bolt out of the blue. It's the undeniable truth. It strikes the Tower, and these people in this one is a little more graphic. They're falling to their death, right? Sometimes it strikes the Tower and blows it all up, whatever it is. It can be job loss. For me and my husband, it was after 99 years, this company that my husband worked for laid off over 30,000 people. We had to replan. We had to do something different. It's the curveball. It's the plot twist. It's the beautiful catastrophe. The oh no, that is more beautiful than you would be able to comprehend or imagine for yourself in the time before this happens. That's what's going on. The synchronicity will line things up. This is when 11:11 happens. This is when perfection happens of dancing through the portal. This is weddings, graduations, birth. This is spring, and it feels like spring. I'm getting ringing in my ears. It feels strongly like spring. What's up with that? Okay, now we can start bridging. This is about getting through this winter, getting through a difficult season, and it does feel like a difficult season until you get to spring. Sometimes I do year ahead readings. Sometimes I do things like this, but this is trying to give you hope for spring and understanding that it's not always going to be as tough as it is, even though the Tower hits. Things are going to be changing little by little on the way as you're moving more towards spring and more towards that synchronistic moment. The Wheel of Fortune is already here. With this is unavoidable. This is the card of fate, and this is the card of something out of the blue. So if this has not yet happened for you, or if you are in process and it feels like it has happened. Feels like the universe is lining up something that's outside your realm or your purview of influence to get you to the point that you need to be to by next spring. And I don't know why, but what I'm getting is they are lining it up. It feels like, oh no, it feels like you gotta be kidding me. It feels like, yeah, it does not feel fun, but it feels like it's totally the divine detour that you would have never wanted or scheduled for yourself, but your guides and angels and ancestors will schedule you for this experience. Page of Cups. New love begins. New start. New beginning here. This is the creative new start. Surrounded by elements that are good. It's not just one cup with one fish in it in this deck. No, it comes up surrounded by things of substance, people of substance, substantial experience. Learning to navigate new waters, warmer waters. Okay. Something has kept you too tethered, too grounded, and too bound. What we're getting here is the Devil, the Eight of Coins, which is right here, which is usually hard work and something coming second nature, but it's been something that's chaining you too much. This old way of working, putting in your time isn't serving. And although it's doing a little bit, you still haven't come to this point where you're the Batman yet. And the student needs to understand you really are achieving mastery over something that's huge, huge, huge. What else is coming in on this? Knight of Wands wants to move out. Queen of Coins wants to move there. Four of Wands kicks in again. Wow. Oh, golly. Okay. I'm going to show you these and then I'm going to bring them up. What we've got is the Knight of Wands wanting to charge ahead. The Queen of Coins that knows her value, knows her worth. Huge, huge, huge. What do we have here? It's trying to move you from these positions that are lower in the ranking of like the court cards and lower in the experience to knowing your worth, knowing your value. You're moving beyond this understanding of you being the Batman into something else, owning your power and really celebrating in it by spring. You've got the Four of Wands kicking in again. Same. Four of Wands. Really stepping through it in a huge, huge, huge new way. This is outside what would be considered conventional norm. That's what the Tower is about. Is outside the expectation, and then Temperance comes through. And this is the one that transmutes. This is the one that is so magical. It's not the magician in the beginning. It's a little bit more than that. It's knowing beyond the basics of just basic magic. It's knowing how to really alchemize and transmute something. They used to think of the alchemist turning lead into gold. This is turning whatever is the catastrophe into the beautiful blessing. That's what's going on here. And it's gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's get another one. Same deck on this one, second deck. I want to see what's going on for you. Right through here. There's something about the spring, the 11/11, and it's coming in like the definition of March. Some of my cards come in with different kinds of timestamps, If you can recognize that this fan that we are creating, that you are going through, this energy that you're going through, is all in your hand to control. If you look down at the way this is laid, you can see that it's all narrowing, right? You can see how this is. Hopefully you can see how this is. What's at the heart of this right here? It's like, you know, when you see the church ladies and they sling out that fan and they start fanning, that's what's going on here. But what's holding it all together? That's what I want to see at the base of this. Wow. Okay. What's holding it together and what we're seeing repeated here is the new start that you want has to be something that you are passionate about, something that forges you with work and family moving forward, a passion that is strong, not just that you do over and over and over and over, but something that you are passionate about. You have to have that fire again. This is the Thief card. It's also the Cover Your Ass and Priorities card. It also says leave some of the baggage behind and travel lightly and stealthily towards what it is that you need to do. Be smart in what it is that you take and take on, all right? Be smart on this. And then you move forward. This Knight of Wands coming through is also duplicate. So pay attention. Before you charge, you're not going to just charge ahead without looking at where you're going. This is what's going on here. This is what's huge important for you. There is going to be victory in this, but it's not an easy read. It's not the easiest road for you going forward. It's something where whatever the universe has served up that feels like the detour, that feels like in the upside down, trust that it's working for you. Trust that you are on your path where you need to go and you are taking the right steps moving forward. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Trust yourself and your higher self as you go forward with this. It's huge. And actually you have the Knight of Wands over on this side too. This is what comes after the death. And this is what makes this flip here eventually. But it's going to take a little bit of time. It feels like this Knight of Wands wants an even faster horse than he usually has. Impatience is there, but it doesn't need to be so. This is 3 times the Knight of Wands, saying charge towards your passion. Charge towards your passion. Protect what is priority, and you'll do fine. That's what I've got. That's complete. Holy cow. That was huge. That was great. Yeah, that was more like a full than a mini, but it needed to be done. So that's what we got. Cast for a full. Okay, let's take a look. 1 second. And Cass, I don't know if you put your question. You're welcome, honey. You're welcome. Cass, I don't know if you put your question in there or not yet. I haven't even looked at that yet. But if you want to put your question in the chat, that'd be great. And I'll get some water and then we'll see what's going on. Okay, if you put your question in the chat, Cass, I would appreciate it. And I'll get a little bit of water. We'll keep going. Okay. Okay. Can we see how my connection with Joey will progress in the next 4 months? We're long-term friends. Okay. Yeah. We're getting the Phantom May tarot for you, so give me just a second. That is right here. And I want to call this Sacerobito, and this is not the Sacerobito, but it's coming out. Just in case we need this. I forget what that one's called. But it works really well with the Phantom May Tarot, or the Phantom Tarot. And this one I've got, just give me 1 second, because I've got the orange cards here, the yellow here, and the blue edges here. And this is the deck that I really want to use for you. We'll start with the blue edge of the Phantom May. Phantom, whatever. And we'll go with that. About you and Joey. Okay. This is the orange edge. It needs to be here. Let's see what we do. Okay. All right. Hey there, Athalie. We're just about to start Cassa's read, and it's how my connection with Joey will progress in the next 4 months. We're long-term friends. Okay, this is why so many decks. We've got the blue for person A, the orange for person B. We're going to go to person C, but let me get this top few just replaced in here, and we'll see what the connection is, and then we'll clarify with the other two. Okay, yeah. Wow, we're doing it in pillars. So each side, person A is going to look like a pillar standing. Person B is going to look like a pillar standing. Then the connection between, we'll see what's going on, see what's happening. So we've got 3 of the Phantom, whatever you want to call it, deck going on. So we can see what's going on with connection. And hopefully you guys can see it well enough. So person A, person B. Now you'll know who's who better than I will. We're going to start with the blue deck. And I would suspect that that's you, but I don't know. You'll know. You'll know. Okay, person A. Cass and Joey. Person A. Wow. That's a big pillar coming up. Oh. There's a little bit of weight coming in on this. Okay. So this is the pillar that we're seeing. It's going down and like this, standing like the pillar, right? The devil in the tower at the top, inverted. The 2 of Cups is right here. If you're looking for perfect match, perfect connection, all of that, the expectations are off somehow on person A's. What they're seeing, what they're wanting to do is do it very, very different. How they thought the perfect connection would be isn't how this needs to be for them. It needs to be very different. And letting go of old patterning is challenging. Letting go of things that will be built only to be crumbled is challenging. That's huge right there. Huge right there. Big, 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 big. Now here we have the Queen of Wands, the 9 of Cups, the 4 of Swords. This one, she's coming up as dull, and that's kind of unusual. The Queen of Wands is the one that's the sparkle and shine queen. She comes in, she knows she's the dynamic that creates the party. She knows that she goes in and things change and the air crackles, but she's feeling very dull lately. It feels like the Queen of Wands has given up a little bit more territory than usual. And she's the most territorial of the queens. Usually she's my way, my way, my way, almost to her detriment. In this particular reading, it feels like she's yielded too much. She's caught in the middle of what her wish is and her wish for relationship. It feels like accommodating too much. There is a need to reclaim your own power back. There's a need to restore, recharge, renew, take care of self, to like if you were charging up your phone or if you were charging up electronics, you would need the batteries charged on that device. You can't charge it on something else. It has to be on that specific device. You need to take care of your own self and honor your own self before you can take care of anything else. That's what it feels like. Priorities are out of whack and there's a little bit of confusion with the moon. This is what's going on this side. Now let's see what the other side is. That's big. This feels heavier than it needs to feel, is what it's feeling. Well, let's see what comes up when we get to the connection point. Well, let's see what the other side is. It feels unbalanced is what it feels like. And it feels like somebody doing more of the work, more of the investing, wanting a deeper level of connection than the other person wants just yet. And that's okay to be at different paces and different spaces. It doesn't mean that everything's kaplooey and, you know, it's over, it's over, it's over. It's just you need to know what's going on. This one, lots of swords on this pillar. So I'm going to flip this down again so you can kind of see right here. We're starting at the top of this one. This one, it feels like this person A has more experience in relationship than person B. Person B has a lot of fearful thoughts going on, a lot of things that are causing, this is a miniature tower. Feels like you've both been stung in relationship, but you're willing to invest a little bit more, person A, than person B. Person B is still non-committal, not over it, not moved on, and having anxiety about things. Anxiety about being betrayed. Anxiety about something from the past that really hurt. Now, the Three of Swords, if they say third-party betrayal, I get on people's case for that. Because although that is one meaning of it, it is not the only way our heart gets hurt. And the only people that ever can betray us are the ones that we allow to be close to us in the first place. If a stranger tells you to fuck off, you don't care. But if somebody dear to your heart tells you that and really means it, that hurts. That stings. So this is one meaning of the card. The other meaning of this card is the uncomfortable truth that they have to face. Sometimes the betrayal is ourself to ourself, and it feels like their fear about something is causing anxiety and getting in their way. And this feels like a self-betrayal for person B. You'll know better than I what's going on in this. And this person needs to be able to speak this truth out, think about it, and let these thoughts go somewhere instead of just be kept to themselves. And it feels like that's what's going on. Now here, Seven of Pentacles right in the middle, right in the heart of it for this one, person B, is this need to evaluate things and waiting and worrying about being disappointed. Magician is down towards the base and Seven of Cups pie in the sky thinking. This person might be somebody that thinks in terms of black and white and isn't good at shades of gray. This person might be extreme thinker. It's either all good or it's all crap. They might be going through a little bit of this right now going on. It feels like they have the ability and the skills to create something real, to allow something to happen. But there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And this card will also come up sometimes when there's gaslighting been involved. Feels like this person's past is still in their way as it sits right now. You asked for a 4-month period of time. This is what's the most fresh energy, what we're seeing now. Then we see the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords. Beautiful opposing cards. Six of Swords. Needing to leave the rough waters for smooth. Really, really needing to get out of the choppy waters. Six of Wands. Victory and recognition. Very interesting on this. This one needs to know that they're going to be okay. It's almost like they want a relationship with a guarantee, which none of us get. None of us get that. But it's almost like that's what they want. Now, what else is going on in the energy between you? So we've used the orange cards over on person B, the blue for person A. We're going to see the connection between with this third deck. Connection between. And it feels like a tangled skein of yarn or a tangled up mass or a tangled up knot. So that's what it feels like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's there. Okay. What we're looking at. The potential for a great relationship, great learning is there. This person is a little bit behind what you're doing as far as timing. So what we've got is the Ace of Cups. We've got the 10 of Swords, something that needs to be moved on over here. The 2 of Cups below. Let me flip it so you can see how it landed. Okay, so you can see Ace of Cups, 10 of Cups, happy ever after. Moving on from the painful past here and really investigating the dark night of the soul over here. These are closer to these sides. These are the energies between. They're meeting up here and they're meeting up here. Below it is lifting a glass and celebrating self. Beautiful. We'll go here. One more. What's in this gap space between here where they move on from the painful past and they get up and they go? And this one is the one that sometimes has death of the ego or death of the shadow side. It's just he's a little behind where you're at as far as the lessons, the commitment, the experience, all of that. It's not the end of the world though. 8 of Wands, the Star. What I would say is I think things are going to get better in this relationship. It's like he's having to catch up. It's like if you've got the flat tire and you have to pull over to change the tire and then you'd be able to move forward when the Chariot comes up. But it feels like the energy is trying to align, trying to move up. It feels like the energy is shifting. It feels like about the 8 weeks is usually this, but this one feels more like a 10 to me, 10 weeks. You asked for a 4-month span of time. Feels like it's going to take 10 weeks at least for him to figure out what's going on. The Star of Hope, you knowing what you want to do and how you're going to do. And if you're going to face down this pattern one more time and see it and go for a different expectation and get your own fire back or not is what's going on with that. So that's huge. You're investigating how your end of the equation is something that you need to do a little bit better. You can't change the other person. You can only change yourself. But you do know what you're prone to do. You do know your patterning. This person is just barely becoming aware of, okay, I think I can risk it again. I think I can trust again. That's what they are becoming aware of. So that's what's going on here. Is there anything else she needs to know? Star of Hope, I love. This is your dream. There's nothing wrong with having the dream of having the great relationship. There's nothing wrong with the dream of having the happy ever after as something you want. We all like happy. Okay, the Death card, the inevitable end. One of you, for sure, is a little bit closer to butterfly moment than caterpillar. The other one is a little closer to caterpillar. But the inevitable end, the inevitable death and rebirth and change that's happening is not necessarily going to be the bad ending to the relationship. It's the end of this painful thing. When I look at this side with all the swords over here, on this side, and I see this lining up, and I see this, it gives me cause for hope. Anything else that this person needs to know? Temperance card wants to come out. It's just taking him longer to transmute. It's just taking longer to do the shaky, shaky boom that creates what it is. This is what this is about. It's about temperance. It's about balance. And if you think of that figure 8 on its side, it is balance. The scales are balancing. And they come to a more even point, more even point, more even point. But they might be wonky for first. They might be a little bit wonky. They might be way out of whack, but it's huge. Temperance sign is a huge sign for you coming out. Yeah, it's coming into balance. It's coming into balance. It's coming into balance. Give it time. Be very, very patient with yourself. And know this is a guarded and protected time for you. You're doing right what you should be doing right. It's going well. It's just a little bit of a different pacing because we're not always on the same pace as our partner. We're not always even on the same pace as our family or our friends. But it's going really well. It's coming forward and it's really quite good. So that's what I've got. That feels complete. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. And this is the Phantom 8, and I can't remember. I want to call this the Saucerbeetle, and I know that's the wrong name for this one. So sorry, I can't remember that one right off the top of my head just yet, but that's what I got. Oh, thanks, Cass. Thanks. Yeah, hopefully that's helpful. That was a beautiful, beautiful. And you guys can see why I like to have so many darn tarot decks. Everything resonated. Good, good. Glad it helped. Okay, so Kim, I needed to check something on my payments, and no, I didn't try to pay someone. So if you guys ever try to make your payment and it looks like I'm trying to pay you, no, I'm not going to pay you. So double check how you've entered it. And I don't know which app does that the most, but every once in a while it does. So next, Angie for a full love and relationship. Okay, let me take a look at what's going on. Just 1 second, okay, guys? Let me see if I can get... Sometimes I just want to smack this damn iPad, but it's like, okay, we'll see what's going on. We'll see. Where the buttons are close together. Yeah, it sometimes acts a little bit weird. So we're just going to see... Come on, you goofy thing. And then sometimes me with the iPad and these stupid nails get underfoot too. And it's like, okay, all right, whatever. Okay. Go, go, go. It's thinking, guys. I'm pushing it and it's just being stupid. Let's see if I can get it to go. You got it figured out. Good. Okay. All right. So we are going for Angie's full love relationship. Is that correct, Kim? Let me know if that's what you're seeing on your end. If that's what next, then okay. We'll go for that. Not sure which decks I want to be in just yet. So, okay, let's see. Hang on. Okay. So, what I'm seeing here, well, that's old. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. All right. Kim, have I got it right? It's for Angie for love relationship? For a full. That's correct? If that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. Give me a second. Okay, we are in an unusual couple of decks coming up. This is the Cosmic Tarot that we're going to. And I'm a little bit shy to go into those because I know Yana will love those decks. I know she will. So if Yana wants to come through, we're going to let her come through. She doesn't get to take over the whole read. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Holy moly. These are great. Now, these ones are a little bit different. They show the imagery different than the traditional Rider-Waite. And so I wouldn't call them necessarily a clone deck, but I know the imagery that's in here, and I know Yana well enough by now that I know. Okay. Full love. Yeah. All right. What I'm getting is violin being played by a fire outside. Very, very different kind of music. Old music. Violin by the fire being played. Wow. Yeah, it's yada da da da. I don't know what's coming through. I don't even know the tune. It's yada da da da. It's somebody calling and somebody responding. Very, very like romantic gypsy music. It is courtship with this dance. Yeah, courtship with the violin, the playing, the song, the dance, all of it coming through. Very, very courtship coming through. All right, we're going in the circle. This is not a traditional choice. This is not necessarily what somebody would choose for themselves, but it's what's coming through. I'm going to show you what's going on. We got the circle spread this way. It's coming full circle. Let's see what's going on in the center. Okay, here's the circle going around. Here's the players. So many influences, external and different to this, but the heart wants what the heart wants is what's coming through. There is a little bit of competition, battle, and strife. The heart still wants what the heart still wants. Okay. These are reading entirely different than tarot. This is going to come through more oracle, and there's nothing to be done about it. It is coming through how it's coming through, and I'm getting out of the way. The center of this, the fight, the test, the proving of whoever it is, proving self-capable. The couple, the young couple, really, really ready to see and receive each other. A little bit of interference from the fighters in the middle. The Wheel of Fortune and Fate has put them together for a reason. The elder woman is saying, yes, this is a a blessed thing. There's others, if it was tribe, or if it was a tribe saying, I don't think so, I don't know. There is a little bit of disagreement. It's like if somebody were to arrange a marriage, if somebody were to arrange a union of a couple, and the mom and the dad or the elders of the tribe would disagree about who should be together. There is this, but the two come together. The strength and the power is there. The strength and the power is there in the couple, in the couple. Fate has a bigger plan than the outsiders will plan for you. This is what's coming forward. Aspects of the relationship all around going on. Starting in the moon card right here. We're starting with the moon. This is where there's something that runs very, very deep. It's more mysterious than you know. This is a card where there can be deception of something going on. And this doesn't feel like person A lying to person B. It feels like the lie is that somebody is not good enough for somebody else. That's the lie. That's as clear as it can come through. Somebody is rising up. Somebody is saying, okay, you've got the domestic and the wild animal, and somebody is a little bit uncouth or a little bit too wild. And the other people would say, oh, he's not refined enough. He's not upper class enough. That kind of thing is going on. There's a little bit of a judgment that is harsh in there and incorrect about this person. Yeah, not good enough for her. Not good enough for her. Coming through with no sword, but only the romance, only the love, only the love, only the love. Still needs to come through. Still needs to come through. The heart wants what the heart wants. The courtship is already happening. The feeling that wanting to break free from being stuck, being stuck, being stuck. There's something about the tradition that wants to come through, and you want it to align, you want it to be all good, all golden, but it's not coming through, and somebody's feeling stuck. It is, if we were to take this in terms of young lovers, the young lovers need to know, the young couple needs to know that they can withstand whatever life is going to bring their way anyway. There is concern for this particular pairing. The willing sacrifice. It's where some people would think that she is choosing differently. This Page of Swords is choosing differently. She is not choosing incorrectly. She is willing to choose what the heart wants, what the heart wants. Her course cannot be dictated, slated, or legislated, or whatever you want to call it. It can't be written out by somebody else. The course of action for you in romance cannot be written by somebody older. So whether that's a parental influence, an old school traditional influence, another way to see this, that sometimes people would have these kinds of a card and this kind of feeling, is if, say, somebody is really, really staunchly religion A and they're in love with somebody that's staunchly religion B, and people think that's going to be coming up and creating chaos. Well, person A and B love each other enough that it's not going to be chaos for them. It might be tricky for the in-laws on one side or the in-laws on the other, but it's not tricky for the two of them. It feels like the union can happen just fine. The Nine of Cups comes in, and look at how gorgeous this is. This Nine of Cups just screams Two of Cups coming through. Huge, huge, huge. It's lining up. The task has been met. It has been met. It has been met. You have the Princess of Swords, Page of Swords, and Princess of Swords. There is harsh communication coming around. I'm getting both of this. We got the Princess and the Prince. There is harsh communication around this. There is beliefs that are old and outdated that need to be let go of. The Princess of Cups comes through. Yana wants to get me back to this in a minute. We get back to this in a minute, Yana. A minute. King of Swords comes through as if he could declare it and plan it and make it so. King of Coins comes through and says, I've already got it. I've already got it banked. I've already got it planned. I've got the resources already. What do you want to tell me here? I don't know what song this is, but the violin played, and then something you guys will know better than I, but the lyric that's coming through, and the rest of the song might not matter so much, but it's Young Hearts Be True Tonight, something like that. Young Hearts Be True Tonight, time is on our side, something like that. Okay, Yana, what do you got? I know it worked for me. I know what worked for me. I know what is for me. I know what is good for me. I say it good for her, good for her, good for her. But sometimes I be wrong. I know what is good for me. Okay. She is showing me the older woman. This is coming through as the older woman, like matriarch energy. She's saying that sometimes the matriarch doesn't always know what's best, and mom doesn't always know what's best for her kids. What else? Okay, we're shifting now to the point of view of the young lovers. I remember when he's me in love. I remember, I do. I'm not so old that I forget the butterfly, the racy boom, 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 boom of the heart. I not forget. I do remember. If it's someone need to be a little bit foolish in the love, if it's somebody need to chase, pursue, play, pursue, chase, pursue, round the tree, round the tree, round the tree. The lesson is theirs to learn. The lesson is there for them. It is not for me to say. Really showing the conflict between these two energies. She's remembering her own mother in this particular instance, and she's remembering this. There is something about this that is important for you going forward, and it needs to be something that your own heart has declared, fought for, and won. And it is the time to advance and to go. This is showing as the two, and this is showing as them both leaping over it, leaping over whatever the conflict might be, whether it's the AB conflict that just, it's it is the time, it is the time. She chased around tree, she chased around tree, he chased around tree, they chased around tree together. It's the day. It's the day that is important. It is not so much the old mama says or the old papa says. It's not so much about the old mama and the old papa saying this is how it's supposed to be. It is very, very your heart going boom, 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 boom. Your heart going big boom, big boom. It's not just something that is small, small. It is big. It is deep, deep, deep in the water, deep in the bone, deep in the knowing. It's something must pursue, cannot stop, must pursue. Yeah. She's showing me this game of somebody running through the woods, this couple running through the woods, playing like a game of tag, playing and chasing each other round and round till they come to this point of exhaustion beneath the tree. It's a very blessed time, blessed blessing. It's something that is supposed to be on your path. It's not something that you can get around, avoid, or ignore. It's not something that the elders of the tribe would be able to dictate to you in any fashion or any way. Not at all. It's not at all that. What else is coming on this? All right, okay. This is zip, 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 zip. It's going to cause, this is like, it's not necessarily forbidden love or unrequited love, but it is shades of that. It is shades of that coming through. Freaking out the elders, for sure. Freaking out the ones that are the wise advisors, the wise counselors, freaking them out. Synchronistic. Synchronistic again. Look, she knows. You know, your heart knows. This is very much coming in. You know what you must know. You know who rules your heart. This is coming through as the young couple again. So this is them that came through before, coming through again. They are not so much of a crazy match as people would think. This is coming through, coming through. The dream of how it was been, it's not coming through without a little bit of hardship coming through. This is coming through with a little bit of hardship, but the person that is signing on for this lesson in love knows this. The other person that is signing on in this lesson in love knows this. Anything else, Yana? Yeah. It's the beat about the time. It's the beat about the time. The fate step in, the weave the thread. The fate step in, the weave the thread. Is also around it goes, around it goes. The lesson has to complete. The lesson has to go. The circle must happen. It's like a circle here. It's like a circle here. It's like a circle here. You get it, Angie? You get it? Yeah, I got it. What she's telling me is there is a connection in here that's really strong. When we're going here, 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 when I'm going back, usually this is time in the way that it moves through my body and the way I pick it up and feel it. And she's got a circle way, way in the distant past, way, way here, which isn't the current energy of now, and then way, way here. She's showing me that three times, this is the third time that you and this person have been connected in such a way. So in past lives, so to speak, you have had these connections. It's been working to come full circle again. It's been working to come full circle again. It's been working to come full circle again. That's what's going on. Yeah, it's very, very clear. As far as the love and the relationship goes, the battling doesn't need to be there. The competition, the comparison doesn't need to be there. What needs to be there is your devotion to your heart and to what this is that you're creating with this other person. Well, sounds like I'll be okay and making a right choice, moving on from this relationship to allow new. Yeah, yeah. Um, the freedom in the phrase young hearts be free, it's your heart needs to be free. If it's free, then you can freely give it. If it's not free, if you feel somebody is controlling, it's not going to be free to give. So what you're moving towards, that is the new, that is the potent and powerful, whatever this is in this relationship. It feels, yes, time is on your side. You cannot rush it. The universe is going to bring you exactly where you need to be. Yeah. The old thing that doesn't serve, that doesn't work, that you have stepped out of, needed to be stepped out of. The power and beauty and grace in your own soul that you bring forward towards any relationship, friendship, romance, whatever, needs to be yours to bring fully and to offer. And this is what's coming. This is a woman coming into her own power, knowing her own value, knowing her worth, and knowing her strength. Without the critical eye being there, without the harsh criticism being there, knowing power, beauty, and strength. This is huge. That's what's coming in. Holy cow. That's what I got. That's complete. Yeah, you are so welcome. It is beautiful. And this is called the Cosmic Tarot. And it is a really good one. But it reads differently now with Yana alongside for sure. And it reads different than the traditional Rider-Waite. It comes through a lot different. It feels very Romany. And I knew that's why Yana would love it. And the violin music at the front of this read, at the beginning of this read, it comes through as if something is trying to call you towards a certain kind of dance that needs to be done, the steps that need to be taken. It's dancing to the music of the heart and the devoted heart. That's what I've got. All right, let me get some water. Holy smokes, that was beautiful. Okay. You needed that. You're welcome, honey. You are welcome. Okay. Just ended a 5-year relationship last night. Well, sweetie, I would trust that love is lining up whatever it needs to line up. Now, I adore Phil. He is the love of my life. He is not the father of my children. I had to have my lessons and my relationship and get my kids here on the planet doing their thing. But that was part of my steps in my course. And sometimes we get this thinking that it's all going to be just aligned all at once. And we don't remember, or it doesn't get taught, that you have lessons along the way. You have relationships that are learnings and lessons. And then we move on towards something that's more fulfilling, deeper, truer, because we're ready for a different kind of relationship. So if that's part of what your path is, just trust the universe has you. Trust your heart is devoted. Trust that this couple that is going to be there, that is down the track from you, this relationship that is so much sweeter than where you've been, is really intended to be there. And whatever was as the lesson, that's okay too. I mean, I will always be grateful to my ex-husband for my beautiful, beautiful kids. Always, always. And there's a lot of people that that's the case. It doesn't mean that was the easy lesson. It just means that's how it needed to be for me in this particular life. So that's what I got. Okay. All right. Kim, do we have somebody next on the list, or are we clear for the day? Let me know either way, so we can see what's going on. I just want to make sure if you've paid for a reading that you're getting your reading. He taught you a lot and helped you become who you are and where you're going. Excellent. Excellent. That's good. That's really good. And if your higher self gets something, then that's awesome. Heather Jones, paid through PayPal. Okay, Heather, my iPad's being a little bit wonky to me. So if you let me know what reading that you got and you wanted, my iPad will probably catch up as soon as I'm done with the show. It's done that before. But we'll just take a look and we'll see what's going on. A mini. Okay. And if you post your question, Heather, we'll get to it. Let me get some more water. 1 second. Yeah, as much as I talk, I do get thirsty. Okay. Yeah, just let us know what you want to do, Heather. As far as if you have a specific question or if you want a general, let me know. Okay. Now, I think this might be the Old English type of a tarot. General with a focus on business. You betcha. I'm getting called towards this one, and I want to also break out the Vampires Tarot. This is a little bit creepier than I would normally go for business, but this is where I was called to, and this is what I'm doing. So I always follow the nudge on this. If I can just... Oh, there they are. There's the vampires. I'm like, I pulled it up, and I'm like, that's not them. It's this one here. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got. General with a focus on business. What I'm getting is the layer that's the frosting on the cake. The layer that isn't the substance. The layer that's a little bit of the sugary saccharin going on. I'm not sure why I'm getting that, but that's what I'm getting. Give me a second. Well, we've got the inside of the Celtic cross going on here, and it needs to be looked at through these. Then we're going to go through the others in a minute. We got the Queen of Swords coming in. What needs to be fair, what needs to be planned, and cut the shit. Now, we've also got coming in this really, really strong energy, and this is the Pope card coming in. The tradition, and then cutting something that's traditional. You doing something traditional and something that needs to be cut or changed. Realigned purpose. Something that needs to be more focused, more scaled, not back, but more scaled in, more in alignment. Narrowed. This is what's coming through on business. Now we have the Seven of Cups coming through here, which is kind of a wild thing to see. This is the Seven of Cups regarding the business, the option, the option, the option. And what I'm getting is that overloaded menu analogy that I get all the time. Too many options, too many options. There's something that needs to be cut is what I'm getting. It needs to be scaled back. Conscious thought here. There's a cling of the glasses here. Rather than a celebration, there's so much nostalgia. There's a cling of the glasses. Now, if you look in this card, she's like chained below, and you see these two. It's almost like they're trying to toast, but if you toast too hard, you either break the glass or the wine just spills over the top and you have lost. So there's something that nostalgia about something in the business is a little too much nostalgia. And what that's going to do is cause spillage, leakage, loss. So be aware of this. We've got the Hanged Man energy and the energy of the Tower side by side coming up here. Now this one, I don't break out very often. It's usually only with my Halloweens, and it's very seldom broke out. The Willing Sacrifice is the Hanged Man energy, and the little bit of patience and the Tower. There's something unexpected out of the blue. If we're doing this as far as business, and I'm talking like money, I would say leave yourself a little bit of a cushion for some unexpected. Leave your oh shit fund a little more padded right now. And maybe if that means reducing unnecessary expenses right now, then do so. That's what I'm getting on that. Now let's take a look. I want to put these over here, and we're going to do the full Celtic with these. I want to keep these as close to positioning as they were, but also make room on my desk for more. So they're here. I'm going to go in again, and we're going to do the Celtic cross here, giving that as the frosting on the cake. That is the knowledge that you need to have from there. Oops, let's put that one. Oh, sorry. That one there. Okay. Yeah, there's something about, with this coming up with the Old English deck there, and with this coming up with the vampires, there's something about an old tradition that is causing a leakage. That's what I'm getting, the old tradition that's causing leakage. It's like if there's too much frosting on the cake, it would weigh the cake down, and the structure of the cake wouldn't stand. It would be cake in the rain. Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, this one we had the Queen of Swords coming up in the center, crossing over that tradition of the Hierophant, right? Here we have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. The significator, you dreaming your dream again, knowing what was lost and holding your dream again and following your intuition. Also, the Queen of Wands, who says, be careful who you give audience to. Be careful who you allow in. Be careful how much you're drawing towards you at one time. Protect your territory. Protect what's going on. This is the challenge of protecting the territory. These are coming in. The Divine Feminine's coming in hugely on this with all of these queens here. The queen that is not here yet is the one that's the Queen of Coins, the one that's the money queen. She's not there. This is a learning about assets, liability, learning about the flow. There is ups and downs, whether it's a lot of business one day and then not so much the other day. There's a little bit of this that needs to be learned, understood. A part of it is the natural ebb and flow, but also part of it is learning to understand and align with your purpose. Three of Cups coming in here. This is the celebration. This is being celebrated, not tolerated. This is really truly understanding what it is an asset versus just a pain. When something is taken for granted, it becomes tolerated. That's not so good. So understand where your energy is best used and utilized and use it there. Understand where it's best appreciated. If you're talking career, money, business, books, and accounting, understand what's yielding the biggest reward and what's just extra fluff. Two of Swords and the conscious thoughts. This is the choice. This is what's going on. Now, you had the nostalgia card up here before. So even though you thought something might be fantastic, if it, like say you're doing inventory and you have something that's an unexpected hot seller. One of the things that I got recently when we were on vacation in August, I got that fuck off shirt with the raven on it. Totally great. That is something that's an unusual, unexpected surprise that tickled me pink, was so much fun. Since I've been home, I've seen more and more and more of it. Great. I probably could have, you know, a dozen of those in every color and love it. I don't need to do that, but it feels like I could have that. The choice to do something unexpected might be the good thing, and it might be more of the hot seller than you think. Who would have foreseen that that might be something that people would love, love, love? You just don't always know. So allow for a little room for surprise. Allow emotions to lead you, not in a way that's a negative way, but more in the positive, because you've got the Queen of Cups and the Two of Swords. This one is not looking at the emotions as much as they should. So trust your intuition a little bit more and balance the books. Okay, over here, Wheel of Fortune, something has turned, something has changed, fate is shifting something. I compare this to having the safecracker and having two of the numbers dialed in and the third one is almost there. It's almost there. It doesn't feel like it's exactly time, but it's almost. With this in the position of the cross where it's past time, it feels like the third number is dialing in. It's just going to take a little bit. And I'm getting probably 2.5, 3 months. It's going to be dialed in, dialed in. Whatever you're doing to finish up 25 in business, whatever you're doing to finish up 2025, great, fabulous. Don't be overextended, overextended, overextended. What's going to carry you into 2026? Be thinking of that a little bit now. So plan increments of time, but also plan in a way that's digestible and doable. Okay, here, Six of Pentacles. This is the universe giving a gift, the unexpected gift. This is somebody getting a little bit of a transfusion, a little bit reinvigorated. Now, we talked about the vampires, the Tarot of the Vampires, and how there's been a little bit of a leak. So if you can see whatever this is that is leaking energy, leaking money, if it's a mindset change or if it's a inventory change, you know better than I do. You know what your business is. You know how you're doing. You know better than I. Let that leak be stopped, blocked, and done, and allow a transfusion to come in. Allow something else that might be the fuck off raven type of product. Let that be a little bit more. Sometimes in business, they've talked about, like, I think in high school, they talked about the lost leader, blah, blah, blah. And they have, you know, the lost leader that's the special that they advertise, but they get the person to come in the store and then the person buys more things. And that's how they make their money off the lost leader. Stuff like this. This is business stuff that you know. Start looking through it at a different lens. Look through it as a business and money lens, and then look through for the unexpected surprise that's coming through, because that's what feels like it's trying to line up. Okay, down here. Page of Swords. You know what you've known. This is the spy in the camp. This is the one that has seen the things, they've witnessed the things, and they want things to move forward a little faster. This is the Page of Swords that doesn't have the horse like the knight, but he wants the swords and wants the horse and wants to go fast. Not time yet. Not time yet. What you've witnessed, what you've seen, and what you've observed needs to be digested, and it needs to be something that moves you forward. It needs to be something that now that you have the information, you can adjust and use it to a way that serves you better. You facilitate personal development course and do one-on-one energy healing with family consultations. Got it, got it. Yeah, you'll know which aspects of that are maybe the bigger money, and you'll know which aspects of that, if that's also the bigger purpose, or if there's one that brings you a little bit more joy, but maybe it's a little bit less money. You'll know which and how to shift and how to balance. Not everything is always going to feel like this hits the sweet spot, but you're learning where that is. Outside influence. Six of Swords. This is kind of the environment around you right now, and it feels like the external influence that's upon you. It feels like it's choppy waters, choppy waters, choppy waters, but you're heading towards your peace. You're heading to get your balance and equilibrium somehow, and it feels like it's not there yet, and it feels like it's not there for 6 months, frankly. Now, that's not in the cards, that's in the Ange. You'll know better than I know, but what I'm getting is the 6 months, it feels like, oh, this is kind of like, why am I even bothering? I don't know if I should. Is this really going well? Give yourself a 6 month time to start evaluating. Give yourself a period of time where you're like, okay, these are kind of the benchmarks I'd like to see, or this is the goal and how am I doing? And then reevaluate. And then the next month, the second month, same thing. Do this and take it in stride as you go forward. It might not look exactly how you've mapped it out, but keep going, keep going, keep going. We've got the Empress coming up and the Justice. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, so this is beautiful. This is the Empress, and she's got the wolf and the owl by her. And it looks like an owl. I don't know why it's such a strange looking owl, because if you look at it close, you can see it's the wolf and the owl, and she's at the tree. She's very, very rooted, very, very grounded with the wild energy of the wolf that can be lone or for the pack, and with the wisdom that comes from the higher perspective. She's receptive to all of that elements, and this is the hopes and fears going on. Don't let your antenna be dialed into the channel of fear. Don't let it be there. Don't let it be there. Don't let it be there. It is time to realize, yeah, this could go wrong or this could go sideways. Prepare for the worst, but be ready to do what it is and hope for the best. Yes. Coming back again to this Queen. Whatever it is that makes you feel passionate, lit up, and sparkly, whatever it is that honors your dream, honors your purpose, honors your calling, this is what is going to help you move forward. This is huge for you. Empress is receptive. When she is called, when she is ready to birth something new, it doesn't come instantly overnight. And it feels like this Empress, the Empress is always bringing forward this period of time that's 9 months for me. But this is feeling like you're already 3 months in. This is what it's feeling like. That's just what feels like it is. Justice card coming through. Knowing exactly what the targets are, knowing exactly which cuts you need to make, knowing exactly how to slice, and knowing what truth you need to carry forward. This is huge. Anything else? The outcome is that you will slice through the shit. The outcome is the karma is coming in. The outcome is the balance and the fairness is coming. It just takes a little bit of time. Leave your ego in the back. Check your ego at the door, man. Whatever your ego does, the hurts and slights to ego need to be let go of if you want to succeed. It's not your ego that's going to run this thing. It's your higher purpose, your higher calling that's going to run this thing. Yeah, take what is important to you and be aware what it is. This is Sneaky Pete the Thief. Do not self-sabotage. Cover your bases. Know what's your priority. Protect yourself. Yeah, and it again keeps coming back to this. It's all about the love, the spiritual offering, the emotional fulfillment for this Queen. It's what she is offering when she is at her best. And this is what's coming through. It's not that you're giving away the store for free. No, but you don't have to be judging everything from an ego base. Judge it from the space of your higher self. Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Don't just judge. And we've had this come up in other reads for other businesses. Don't just judge how the business is doing by the dollars alone, because the dollars can ebb and flow and it can change, and you'll have different parts of the year where it's a bigger deal or a lesser deal. Judge how true and how aligned you feel to your calling, to what it is that you're dreaming, to what it is that is your higher purpose and your higher soul's calling. That's what's going to help you. And yeah, it's going to balance. That's what I've got. That feels very complete. That's beautiful. That's what I've got. All right. Yeah. It keeps going back to that Queen of Cups for a reason. Your intuition is good. Your intuitive side is good. You know what to trust within yourself. You really, really do. And if it feels draining to your soul, that's why the vampires came. It's why we had to go through with this deck. What is old from the 1890s or whatever that is, that other deck. I forget what year it actually is. But it's don't let it bleed. Don't let it leak out so much. Trust your intuition. Okay, that's complete. All right. Let's just clear up Kim is saying. Good. Okay. I think we're probably going to call it here. Internet was choppy, but that's okay. Sweetie, you trust your intuition, trust your instinct on this. I did record this, and so this is going to be probably the very last read of this. we'll call it a day, and then I'll be here again Wednesday at 11 Mountain Time, Utah time. So that's when I'll be here. But you're doing just fine. It's going to be okay. Follow your passion, follow your intuition, and you're going to do all right. And check your ego at the door when you have off days or whatever, or slow days. Every business has days where they're busy and days where they're slow. It's okay. It's all right. Okay, that's what I've got for you guys. I'm going to let you go. Much love to you all. Thank you for being here. Mwah. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.